Do you want to know how to make multi-keys like the ones you hear from Max Shooter, Keon, and so many other producers, and really want to learn how to make your own? Then I'm about to spill all the sauce. All these producers really about to hate me right now. They've been trying to gatekeep this for a minute, but I promise you there's no gatekeeping here. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So of course, the first thing that you guys will need to have is of course Pigments. Without Pigments, you can't do this. And so if you have Pigments, congratulations, you can make multi-keys. This is just one example of a sound that we're going to be creating today. And this is more of like a advanced, not advanced, but like there's a lot more things that you can do within Pigments instead of just dragging and dropping one shots and then just having it like that. You can also enhance them and make them sound very, very unique. For example, like this one right here, I have the granular effect going on. So this gives it more of like that space, watery type vibe. So off the bat, we're just going to open up Pigments and start from scratch. And real quick, this preset, the new age preset that I showed you, is from the Utopia multi-kit. If you guys want to get that down below in the description. All right, so this is what you get when you first open up Pigments. And this may seem a little confusing, but in reality, if you literally just spend like 2-3 hours on this, you're literally going to get it right. But of course, the main important functions that we're going to be worrying about is the sample engine here. And if you guys don't know about Pigments, you guys can change. If you just click on the engine and you click on the names, you can change it to an analog, a wavetable, a sample, or harmonic. This is not an in-depth walkthrough of Pigments. If you guys want that, let me know. I'm just going to show you how to make multi-keys like the ones you hear from Max Shooter, KD Pro, and you really want to make your own multi-keys. In order to do that, you want to make sure you have it on the sample engine. And of course, you have 2 engines on here. And so in reality, you can actually combine about 12 one-shots in here, since each sample engine has 6 slots in here that you can use. And so in theory, you can actually fill all these 6 slots here in engine 2, and in engine 1 you can also fill it up with 6 one-shots, so you can have like a whole symphony of sounds in there that you guys could use. But in reality, it's really simple on how to get these multi-keys going. In reality, all you really have to do, all you have to do for these multi-keys is literally just fill the sounds here. So just drag one here, here, and I'm pretty sure you guys would want to drag in your own sounds. And there are 2 ways into doing this. Now, if you read onto here, it says click here to add its sample. What you can do is you can drag and drop. However, if you drag and drop, and at least in my experience, it does not save when you're exporting these presets. And so sometimes there's like problems and like it messes up the preset. So instead of dragging and dropping, what you want to do is click on the sound here and then click this import file icon right here. And I really recommend making a new folder, entitling it Pigment one shots, or if you're making a bank, then title that folder the name of the bank so you know which sounds go into what bank. And as you can see here, you're going to see 0041, 0042, 0043. Now there's going to be a lot of importing one shots in here, especially if you want to make like 20 presets and whatever. And it does depend on how many one shots you want to use per preset. And like I said, you could use the whole row here and use all 6, and you can literally layer that up with another sample engine here and put another 6 and have 12. Or you could literally just have 3, you can have 2, you can have 4, you can do whatever you want. Just keep in mind that you would want to at least title them and label them as such so that you don't add the same sound over and over or whatever it is. Let's say I want to make like a key preset. So what you would do is click the name, import, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to title it Lucid, which is the name of the bank that I'm creating. And then from there, you would want to drag all the one shots that you plan on using. Now keep in mind, like how you saw how I labeled them with 0041, 0042. The reason why I labeled that is so that it's much easier to see which sound goes for what preset. So for example, if I plan on having 4 one shots to make a key, then I will want to label it so that I can tell which sound goes with what. So what I'm going to do is, and what I really recommend is don't just drag and drop one shots. Now I'm just going to be showing this as an example, but I really recommend adding some processing effects on the one shot so that the one shot is a lot more unique, and when playing all together it just sounds so much better. And also keep in mind, not every one shot goes well together, so you're going to be testing and trying out certain one shots so they go together, because sometimes there's some one shots that detune out of key or whatever. So you essentially want to find the best one shots that pair well together so you can make like the best multi-key preset possible. So I'm just going to show an example here. Let's say I want to use these 3 one shots here, and let's just say I edited them already, whatever. This is just for the example. I will go into the Lucid bank, I would paste them here, and from here, like I said, I'm going to make a key. I'm going to label it key, or you can, or however you want to label it. I'm actually going to label it 001, so that's the first sound, and here it's going to be 001 parentheses 2, and then so forth and so on. 001 parentheses 3, so that you know that the 001 is for one preset. So these 3 right here are going to be for one preset. And so what you do is you literally just open one here, and you have to double click it again to press it. And I forgot to mention this, but when you click on the sound, there's different folders here. You want to make sure you go to the imported section here, so that you can see all the sounds that you've imported here, all of them. You can also input a folder. So what you want, you can input the whole Lucid folder here. You actually got all your one shots in here already. So that's actually a much faster way. Now, of course, you want to already know which one shots go well together. But if just for a faster workflow, you can just import the whole folder of the already one shots and then make sure that they're already labeled so that you don't have to do all that and sometimes confusing yourself with duplicating sounds and all that stuff. So here I got 1, 2, and 1, 3. And as of right now, there is no multi-key function. So if I were to just play one sound, it's just gonna be playing the first sound here. It's just playing that. However, this is all you got to do to get that multi-keys function. Literally, all you got to do is just click this map button here and then go on random. You could go for round robin, which means it's just going to go from 1, 2, 3. It's going to go in order. Or if you go to random, then it's going to be playing random one shots instead of it going from A, B, C, D, E, F. It could be playing A, E, B, F, you know, in random. So if I were to play one shot, it's going to be playing random one shots. However, if you play a chord, then all 3 one shots are going to start playing. The basics right there is how you get multi-keys. Literally put in the one shots, map, random, and that's how you get all these multi-keys. However, if you want to be more unique, you want to be more innovative and have your one shots actually sound better, then this is when you will start adding effects on Pigments. You know, which what I like doing to just make it a lot more full is I like to have one engine on a sample and have another one on a wavetable and pretty much have like just a layer where it just makes it sound a lot more full. So I'm just gonna have this MIDI playing in the background. So this is the volume of the wavetable at 0, and I can just slowly increase it. And you hear that it just sounds a lot more full. Now one shot here that I chose is not that good, so I'm just gonna change it. For the purpose of the video. So like I said, that's when you want to start trying these presets, because sometimes some one shots don't go well together. So from here, once you got a good preset that you like to start working on, now real quick, I also want to show you these other functions here. The sample pick is where if you move this knob, then that's the only sound that's going to be playing. So if you move it to here to C, then it's going to be playing A, B, and C. Then it's only going to be playing C. If you have it on B, then it's only going to be playing B. If you have it on A, it's only going to be playing A. Round robin, of course, as you can see with these arrows here, it goes in a circle, so it just goes in order. For the key and velocity map is where you can actually change the sound on different velocities. So you guys might be familiar with how Max Shooter did some of his packs with certain velocities changes the sound. Now this is where you do that here, and as you can tell here with A, B, and C, this is going to correlate with A, B, and C, D, E, F here. So I can see here, even with the key map here too as well, the lower octaves will only play certain sounds. So this is actually a good way on making these presets like a full instrument. So what you could do is you could have on A and B play only basses, on C and D have like keys, and in C4 and C5 you could play like leads or whatever. It opens up to so many possibilities that you guys could do here. Same thing with the key and velocity map. With the more one shots that you have in here, this is where you can actually customize whether the velocity will change or not. I'll show you guys in another video explaining that. I'll definitely be making a part 2 of these multi keys here, but for the most part you would want to choose random. So here you really got a good sound here. Mix it up with just, as you can see, with each sound is playing different. And just to show you on the wavetable here, it's just a simple sine wave. Now here you could add voices to the unison. And here's where we can change the position of the wavetable. So if you want it, you know, different position, a saw or sine wave, whatever. I just do this to add more character to the one shots. Now this is where you would really want to start pretty much experiencing with and using this a lot throughout when making your multi keys. And of course you can use the whole entire Pigments. You can use the effects section, you could use a filter, you could use all these knobs, you can literally do whatever the hell you want. I'm just showing you the basics and as well as some sauce on top of that. And you can test, and I always recommend testing your presets with different midis and different tempos. Now, if you guys really want me to go further into detail with Pigments and multi-keys and how you could really take your multi-keys to the next level, then let me know down below. This is just a really quick video on showcasing how you guys can make multi-keys as well as what you guys can do. Now, real quick, I am just going to show you how to save and export them. Now, just a reminder, make sure you label all these as such so you don't use the same sound twice in the same preset, so you don't duplicate sounds, whatever. It's always better to just already have your sounds labeled beforehand, and then you can just export them all and have them in the presets. Now, if you need to make arrangements and change certain one shots, then do so, but make sure you import the one shots in the folder first. I know you saw me drag and drop them to try to fix these, but that was just for the sake of the video. Make sure you change the sound in the folder first, and then you have to re-import it and then put it back into the preset. So it sounds kind of a lot, but trust me guys, it's all worth it. And it's much better once you have certain one shots that really go well with each other, so you can really create something cool. So for example, I have this Aura Creations bank that I'm working on, and I have this pad multi-key that I have, and there's only 3 pads in there. Like I said, you can use however many one shots you want to use. Just keep in mind that it might sound a little too much. The less the better, to be honest. Now, like I said, you can just do whatever you guys want, but this is just three different one shots in here, 3 different pad one shots to create one crazy pad on top of a wavetable. It's pretty low with as well as some other effects on here, and it just sounds like this. Literally the only thing that's stopping you is your creativity. You can do this with any type of sound, and I highly recommend rewatching this video a couple of times so you can really grasp on how to make these multi-keys. And as well as I'll be making a part 2 going further detail into multi-keys. I'm gonna breaking down how you can make the velocity maps and how you can make your one shot sound a lot more unique, and I'm gonna show you some one shot processing tricks that I do to make my sounds a lot better before importing them onto Pigments. So that'll be for the next video. Now, to end the video off, I'm just going to show you how to export these presets. So let's say you have this preset, all you gotta do is just click this 3 arrows right here. I'll put save preset as, and you want to label it however. I always recommend putting the author as your name, your comment, you can whatever, you can put cool sound, literally whatever you want to put. Now if you want, you could label these as a multi-key, so you just go to keys here and you go to multi-keys here, or if you're making the whole bank as a multi-key, then you can just label them as the pad, and they're different sounds of pads, whatever. Now the genre, styles, characteristics, this really does not matter, but you can do whatever you want if it fits the style. Like if it's dusty, glitchy, if it's processed, whatever, you can do whatever the hell I want. That does not matter. All that is just filters basically for like analog bank and Pigments and all that stuff. And all you gotta do is just click save, and then it'll be right here. That's pretty much it. And real quick, I'm just going to show you how to export a bank. Literally, when you're done with the bank, let's say I finished making the bank here with Aura Creations, all you got to do is just right click it and go to export bank, literally. And then you just export it wherever you want. Now, you don't have to use this name here. You can just, as long as you have the .pgtx, then you're cool. You can name it, like my kit is called Aura Creations, so you can just name it Aura Creations, and that's it. So guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you guys want that part 2 video. A lot more crazy shit's coming. On top of that, I also have a free analog bank down below in the description that has multi-keys in there, so if you guys are interested, make sure you guys get that. But yeah, that's essentially it. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else down below in the comments, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Deuce.